let's move on to the NFC North. I think we spent enough time on the NFC East. NFC North, we've got obviously the Packers, we've got the Vikings, we've got the Chicago Bears, and we've got the Detroit Lions. I'm going to say right away the Detroit Lions are not in the conversation. They traded Matt Stafford.
They would have been had they kept Peterson, but they didn't.
That's right. Adrian Peterson, they did not keep him. They traded Matthew Stafford to the Rams for what's his name?
That's kind of like Goff. A wash, though. Almost.
Well,
might take it a minute.
It's not really a wash. I think Matthew Stafford is a better quarterback than Jared Goff, okay. But Goff is a good quarterback. I just don't think they have the weapons right now. Okay, I think the Bears are going to be an interesting team. You got the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton there, who that right now they're saying is going to be the starter.
He won't be.
But Justin Fields,
most of the games.
He's been flashy, and all the fans want him, but who knows? All right. I think the Bears are their window is closing on their defense. I think they need to do something pretty quick. Otherwise that defense is going to get old quickly. And I don't think they could. Yeah, they could.
Than they did last year.
I don't think they made the playoffs last year. Maybe I don't think they did. No. You got the Vikings. The Vikings are going to be an interesting team. They got Jefferson, that wide receiver, who's in his second year. They've got Dalvin Cook, arguably the second or third best running back in the league right now. And you've got Kirk Cousins, who is the ultimate game manager at quarterback. But I think the Packers are the class of the division, right? I mean, as soon as Aaron Rodgers came back, they've got what's his name? Devontae Adams at wide receiver, or not Devontae Adams. What's his name? Devontae Adams, right? Yeah, wide receiver. I think the Packers are the team to beat if their defense can hold up this year.
The Bears did make the playoffs last year.
They did make.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
For the Saints. Yeah.
Okay.
Nickelodeon game.
Oh, that was the Nickelodeon game.
All right, it was the Nickelodeon game. That's right.
That was cool.
All right, so I think the Packers are going to win the division. Rodgers is reigning MVP. He doesn't get hurt, or somebody major doesn't get hurt. It's really all him. If he gets hurt, they're done. If he plays like he usually plays, they'll probably win 11 or 12 games, right? So, right. I think that's probably going to happen. So, Packers win the division. I think the Bears. I think. Okay, not Fields, but if they can stick with Dalton, I think he's an upgrade over Trubisky. I think he is slightly. I'm not, but so I think they finish second and they find a way to get maybe the seventh wild card again. And then I think you got Lions fourth. I think Cousins is kind of like not bad, but it's almost like he's outperformed who he actually is the past few years. He's due to have just a not great season at all. I don't know. Dalvin Cook, like you said, we'll talk about him in our fantasy preview, obviously, because he was one of the best backs in the league last year. They can rely on him only so much because Cousins is going to have to throw the ball, and I just don't. I think he takes a step back this year in what he's been doing, and they could finish second. I still think the Bears find a way to sneak into the playoffs again, but I'll go Bears second, Vikings third, and Lions fourth.
I think Packers win the division again, like reigning MVP Aaron Rodgers. He's got Randall Cobb now with him, so he feels that they're obviously comfortable together.
Yeah.
The Lions. Yeah. I guess if I had to, I guess the Lions have to.
You said you're going to give us your take on Stafford and.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a wash. Look, I like Stafford a lot, right? Okay. I do, but I feel like Goff's kind of like Stafford. I mean, don't they both have pretty strong arms? They throw it down the field pretty well. They have some big plays. They have some prolific games. Like both of them could throw for 400 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, and then the next week they could turn the ball over a few times or whatever. But they both have some really high highs.
Right.
And they don't have real low lows. They just have kind of whatever lows. They're pretty good quarterbacks. I feel like they're pretty similar. So I think that's just a wash. I don't think they've changed anything with that. So I think that's the same. And then Peterson, of course I like Peterson, but that's not gonna hurt him that much because they didn't utilize him like they should have anyways.
Right.
If they would have kept him and actually given him the ball 25 times a game, maybe that they're better.
Right.
But so I feel like the Lions weren't horrible last year, were they? I mean,
Well, I think no, they weren't horrible, but they were not very good. And I think the problem, right, to go back to the Goff Stafford thing, Goff did take the Rams to the Super Bowl.
yeah,
okay?
that's
But
if you look at that.
Here's an interesting point. What I was going to say is, if Stafford takes the Rams to the Super Bowl, then we know it was the team,
Rams.
right? It was the team around him and the coach. Because let's see if Goff can bring the Lions up to that level. I don't think they have the talent around
Well,
him.
I don't think Goff's the type of guy you bring him in like Brady. He's going to bring the whole team up to
Right,
that level.
right.
I'm just saying that I think his skills and Stafford's skills are kind of aligned, kind of. And I think they both have some really high highs, and they both don't have very low lows. So I think they're pretty similar.
I see your point there. I just happen to think Stafford's like better. Like actually better.
No, I mean, like I said, I agree, and that'd be interesting to see when we get to the NFC West. There, to talk about that.
I see what you're saying, and I agree with the point in
So,
general.
But to go back to the show, I'm not like really down on the Lions. But in that division, I guess I have to pick them to finish last. If they're in another division, maybe they could do something. But in that division, the Vikings would be the one that I would hope it would be them if the Lions that finished last to me. The Bears, well, I don't know. The Bears, I guess they did get to the playoffs last year, so I can't really.
Well, they're like. They could have a terrible season, like they decide they don't like Andy Dalton and they start this Fields guy, and he's what we think he is, or not that great. They can win 2 or 3 games too. I think things will go right for them, but things can go very wrong.
That's a good point. That's a good point. The one thing that's holding me back from saying that, from maybe putting them in the last spot in the division, is the fact they made the playoffs last year. But like you said, I wouldn't be shocked if that was just a flash in the pan. You know, they you said, they just win a few games.
Well, I think what we're discussing here, it applies across the NFL, is the NFL has changed. I mean, it used to be when you drafted what you thought was your franchise quarterback, you groomed him and you got him ready, and he sat for a couple of years, and he was a traditional quarterback now that had experience, knew the offense. Nowadays, with the media and social media the way it is, and with the money that these draft picks are making, you know, most of these teams are picking these dual threat type quarterbacks. I mean, you don't really have a lot of quarterbacks, pocket guys that are drafted. I mean, Herbert might have been one of them. But my point is, they're looking for that guy like Justin Fields, or everybody's looking for Patrick Mahomes.
Lawrence was kind of dual threat too.
Exactly. Yeah. So you're looking for everybody wants to find another Patrick Mahomes, and nobody has the patience, right? Because they bring him in and they want to start him right away, partly because they're paying them a lot of money. But again, he's a rookie quarterback, and when you face the pressure and you have any uncertainty, they're going to tuck it and run. And that's fine, but that's not always going to work. We found that.
RG3.
Yeah, exactly. So I think when given everything I just said, if the Bears go to Justin Fields too quickly, they don't make the playoffs.
This is how it's going to go. Justin, you're right about that. This is how the division's going to go. This is how it's going to go with the Bears. The Bears are going to start with the Red Rocket. All right.
Right.
Andy Dalton, whatever his name is. And they're going to start with him. He'll play 1 or 2 games. Fans will be calling for his head, you know, blah, 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 this and that. They'll switch to Fields early on in the season. And he may have a few flashes that make people think, oh, look great. But ultimately, it's going to go downhill fast after that. All right. And they're not going to win the division. They're not going to make the playoffs. People are going to be making all types of excuses for Fields at that point. Well, he's a rookie, though. But look what he did in this game. There'll be things to point to for Fields if you're an apologist and you want to say, like, he's the guy. There'll be things to point to. He'll have some flashes of brilliance. Maybe not brilliance, not brilliance. But he'll have some flashes to point to, but it's going to go downhill once they put him in. So, you know what? I'm going to go Vikings are going to be second. I like the Lions. I'm going to say Lions third, Bears fourth, and the Packers obviously first.
All right.